So the goal right here is a less than 0.015 on the compressor, or about 0.005, and on the turbine also 0.005. It hops up, but it's well within spec. Those little bouncing arounds is just normal. Where it averages is what we're looking at. So now on to getting this thing all put back together. I'm gonna slow her down right here and get a good look at it. We're ready to rock and roll. Alright, so this section is going to be a little longer, but I did this in slow motion because this is a really important part. So with the O-ring cover, it's the O-ring center. I just use WD-40. It'll evaporate off, but for getting the cover over the O-ring, it works really good. And for doing any small adjustments, once it's on there, you're not going to tear the O-ring up or anything. So once we got that lubed up, I'm gonna drop our cover down with the cover off the top. That way we don't catch the map width groove on the wheel. We can throw our cover back on the top once the cover is down. This way when we do the flip to put the snap ring in, it keeps the front of the cover nice and clean. We won't scratch it up or damage it. We're going to check the fitment of there's a 12 valve oil drain against where the comp outlet is. That way it makes it easy on whoever's getting this unit. The less they got to mess with it, the better. So we're going to we're checking the fitment between basically where the V-band is and the drain to make sure the drain's going to sit flat when it's bolted in and it's not going to hit the comp cover outlet clamp when they go to install it. Usually the correct alignment for that is going to be with the V-band as close to the drain as possible without it contacting the drain. That's dead on. Otherwise the name tag about 90 degrees out of phase with the exhaust inlet foot. But on a lot of these covers, depending on the casting height, it's going to be as close to that V-band as you can get. And here's the flip. See our snap rings loose. I have a set of snap ring pliers that I made. So we're just going to compress the main ring down so we can insert the pliers in there. They're just 45-degree needle nose that I filed grooves into. Nothing fancy. There we go. Carefully compress. You don't want to slip and jam your fingers into each other. It's great. Now this is a super critical part. You're going to get a punch, drift, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to go around the snap ring and drive this thing home. If you do not do this, there is a good chance that this snap ring is going to come out while under boost, and it's not pretty when they do that. If you get lucky, like not this one, but one I'm working on right now that we're doing something real cool for, this guy's a super good guy. His came off and it didn't bend the shaft, didn't do anything. On the other hand, a lot of times it'll stop the wheel so fast it just snaps the shaft in half, and then it goes out the exhaust, causes all kinds of damage. So throwing the spring gate on. We use the spring gate controllers because it's the only thing I found that's reliably can get us to the high boost pressure we need, 40 to 50 pounds of boost. These turbine wheels are efficient to 40 to 50 pounds of boost. There's no need to really air assist them unless you're going to be running very high engine speeds or nitrous, and in that case we do have a setup for air assist, but you're going to need an electronic boost controller, not a cheapo one, and it'll take a real one. They're about $300 plus a bunch of wiring, if not more. So just checking tension. Do a couple hundred of these things, you start to get it down. Easy to adjust, just a 1/4 jam nut and a 1/4 bolt on top. You got to loosen them, tighten them up for more boost, loosen them up for less. Typically in this case it's a 60 millimeter, so about 47 to 50 pounds of boost to 3,000 RPMs. If we want to run to a higher RPM than that, then we're going to drop boost down just to keep shaft speed in check. But for the most part, these 60 mils are for towing applications and people operating mainly below that 3,000 RPM mark, and they don't got to touch them, and we can set them a little tighter. Your normal diaphragm gate is a spring gate with air assist or boost assist. If you unhook the air assist to the normal diaphragm gate, you now have a spring gate that's just covered up. So the only difference is you can see these ones, there is a retainer, but the retainer isn't so long it covers the whole spring. It would be cool to do that, but using that much stainless does get pricey fast. Alright, what's next? Alright, so final touches. We have our own stainless tags that go on here depending on who's selling the turbocharger. We drop ship to quite a few businesses, and we have the different businesses' tags in stock, so we throw the tag on that belongs to the name of the company that we're drop shipping for. So whether it's through us or through one of the other companies that sell our units, that's the tag that's going to go on. Use high heat epoxy. This has been working fantastic for the last about 2 years we've been doing this with no issues. tags are 304 stainless brush finish with an engraved logo on them. Press it down, I'm gonna trim off the excess. And we're gonna just grab some rubbing alcohol and clean any excess and fingerprints off the tag and whatnot. We can get off the cover. This cover gets put in a parts washer and then pressure washed and then dried in the sun. And we hand clean the inside back up. This one had no internal damage, so no resurfacing or anything of the inside. Just a nice Scotch-Brite finish to get it looking good. So here we go. We're gonna probably go grab our alcohol here. Yep. This is a voiceover, anybody's wondering. I filmed all this previously and now we're making the video. Pretty transparent about everything. This unit here was, why did it need to be fixed? It was just leaking oil. And it looked like this is an older fabricated housing, and with the fabricated housings, you have to center them. So even if it's on the truck and you reclock it, you want to make sure that the turn wheel's not contacting, because there's a little bit more clearance in the fabricated housings versus the new all cast ones that we got now, which don't require that at all. They're just easy peasy, but these older ones do take a little bit more care and finesse. They do look cool with the welds on them. Just checking the glare, looking for any extra fingerprints. Okay, this one's just leaking oil, and this one went out when we were using another place to balance our units. It did look like it had some transfer going on from harmonics, so we balanced this in-house. We did get a new turbine wheel because we're a little suspect of the old turbine wheel and maybe having some cracks in it. So here we go, there's a careful. Kids might get up. Oh yeah, that's how it goes. Huh? That's how it goes.